Welcome to the 2013 KVIE Art Auction, celebrating 32 years of visual arts in our region. More than 250 pieces will be auctioned off to the highest bidder, and you can be a part of the action by watching and bidding on your favorite pieces. View the entire collection online at kvie.org/art auction. Then, when your favorite item appears, call 1-800-270-6601 to place your bid. You can also interact live with the auction team on Twitter using hashtag KVIEArts. Remember to bid high and bid often. And now, let the auction begin. Sold.
It's easy to bid on items featured in the art auction. Here's how. Explore the collection online at kvie.org/art auction. Make note of the date and time your favorite artwork comes up for bid, or stay tuned. When a piece of art catches your eye, quickly call 1-800-270-6601 and a volunteer will assist you. Most items will be sold in less than 7 minutes. Bid high and bid often so you don't miss any of your favorite items. Stay tuned for the California's Gold category coming up next on the KVIE Art Auction. Juried by Pat Mahoney, this category celebrates the beauty of California landscapes in all media. View all of the categories featured in this year's auction at kvie.org/art auction. Bid high and bid often.
Good evening and welcome to the KVIE Art Auction. I'm Kelly Rains. This portion of KVIE's Art Auction is presented by the Nilo Company. We want to thank the Nilo Company for supporting public television and art in the Central Valley. We appreciate your support. Let's take a quick look at all of the art up for bid in the next half hour. The first item, 37A, Descent by Bill Reed. It is acrylic on canvas measuring 16 by 20 with a retail value of $350. Item 37B, from Pier 3 by Cindy Shelton. It is a photograph measuring 25 by 33 with a retail value of $750. Item 37C, Dunes near San Luis Obispo by Gretchen Ryan. It is acrylic on board measuring 24 by 31 with a retail value of $800. Item 37D, Big Sur Coast by Daryl O'Sullivan. It is a photograph measuring 17 by 24 with a retail value of $340. Item 37E, Sand Toy by Victoria Brooks. It is oil on canvas measuring 18 by 24 with a retail value of $1,850. And item 37F, the San Jacintos by Paul Seifert. It is oil on canvas measuring 18 by 24 with a retail value of $250. Art expert Will Green is here with us. Will is the owner of a wonderful organization called, I believe, the Empty Attic in East Sacramento. And he is an avid art collector whose private collection has been featured in the Smud Gallery. Will, tell us more about 37A. Before the camera got on us, we were both kind of surfing.
Yes, it's hard to stand still with all the movement here. This is Bill Reed's Descent. This is acrylic on canvas. Bill is well known as a cartoon artist in the past, but he studied the past 4 years at the Chouinard Art Institute, and he has a surfing as a hobby, and so now this is his representation of what he values most in life. So he's kind of switched away from the Disneyland cartoons, the cells, but he actually was important in demonstrating or illustrating in the Jungle Book, Winnie the Pooh, Blustery Day. Incredible credits for this artist. And, old surfers probably never die, but sometimes they might want to just have a nice painting to stay off the surf and look at home and remember those glorious days when they were much younger riding the big waves.
Chasing those big waves, but you
bet.
can always have that big wave when you have a piece like this. This is item 37A. It's descent, and something interesting about descent is that you have to ascend before you can descend. And you can ascend if you dial the phones right now. 1-800-270-6601. Support local art by supporting public television when you call in. Will, there's a lot of action going on.
A lot of action. You talk about ascent, and I have a bit of acrophobia, meaning a fear of heights. So I'm almost like, I know what it takes to be at the height of this wave, and I get a little bit of anxiety, and like now I'm coming down. I don't think it would be a good landing for me, but I trust that this piece could land in a wonderful collection in your home, and you would not regret it. There's incredible movement. You're out in the elements with the sky, the sea, and the raw force of nature against man.
Raw force of nature. We are looking for an opening bid of $100. This is Descent item 37A. You can make that bid by calling 1-800-270-6601. Now we're going to go over to the phone bank and see what Dee has to tell us. Dee?
I'm standing here with the fabulous Downsizing. What a great little sculpture this is. This artist is married to Maria Winkler. So we have two artists in one family that have donated to KVIE. It has a retail price of $325. Right now we're only sitting at $100. So I'd like us to get closer to that retail price. When David gave us the piece, he wanted us to get $300. I've got people standing by. We need to make these phones ring. These guys are here to take your questions, your calls, and sign you up for a bidder number. We're at 1-800-270-6601. Let's go back to Will and Kelly.
Thank you, Dee. This is a beautiful piece. It's got a lot of action. It's got a lot of color. If you've got a surfer or somebody who loves the outdoors, who wants to go surfing even if they can't on a routine basis. Descent item 37A, 1-800-270-6601. We're looking for an opening bid of $100. It is a retail value of $350. We actually want to move up that bid to $125. For the surfer that you love, for the person who loves the coast and color, Will, this is a great piece.
Well, let's just say, maybe to bring it up, let's look at this man's credits, okay? This is not in his past cartoon credits, but he has been with the Archies, Star Trek, Billiard, others, MGM, Pink Panther, Universal Studios, Earthworm Jim, and the Cartoon Network. And so what more could you ask? This is a skilled, well-accomplished artist of 44 years, and now he is painting what he loves most, and that's surfing. And in fact, he has his own website called mysurfbaby.com. So what more? I mean, an incredible artist with 44 years of talent and credits in the cartoon industry, and this presentation is a wonderful piece for your collection.
It is a great piece, and nowhere else but here at KVIE Public Television, where we present new and emerging artists like this artist, Bill Reed, who's an established artist. He's got quite a pedigree. I mean, where else can you get a painting by somebody who drew for Disney, who drew cartoons, who has the pedigree and the passion for storytelling? Call now at 1-800-270-6601. We have a bid at $100, but we're looking for a bid of $125. And we want to hear the phones ring, and only you can make that happen. It's an art auction when you call in at 1-800-270-6601. Ascend, go to the phone, dial right now. Will, what else about this piece?
Well, you know, it's simply framed as it should be because you don't want to detract from the painting.
Okay, well, thank you. We are moving on to the next piece, item 37B. It is from Pier 3 by one of our favorite volunteers, Cindy Shelton. It is a photograph measuring 25 by 33, framed by Archival Framing, and thank you to all of our framers. It has a retail value of $750, and we've got an opening bid of $250. We're looking for a bid of $275, and you can make that happen by calling 1-800-270-6601. Will, I love this piece. I'm a proud Sacramentan, but I lived in San Francisco for 4 years, and this captures what I felt and what I still feel every time I drive over that bridge and I see that skyline.
This is, it even does it more justice than what you see. What happens here in this piece, this is truly the city turned into gold. This is, I think of Goldfinger, and I hear Shirley Bassey singing the song as she did recently at the Academies. It's almost like everything that you see in here is golden. This is 24 karat gold. The frame appears to be like a gold foiled leaf, beautiful silk matting. This is an elegant photograph that is very detailed. It is one of a kind. There's only one edition of this photograph. It is a large photographic rendering, and anyone should be proud of this in their collection.
It captures the emotion and the magic of San Francisco. It's right in our backyard, but you don't even have to drive there now to enjoy it. You can hang San Francisco in your living room or your office or wherever. You just need a little magic.
And we don't want to disappoint Cindy this year. Cindy has been a bell ringer for several years in a row. So not only would she be disappointed, but I'm going to be very disappointed if this doesn't become a bell ringer tonight.
So let's not disappoint her. We're up to 300. We need to increase that bid to 325 or even 350. San Francisco, it's magic. We all remember the first time we saw it and the feeling that it gave us. It's a beautiful city. This is a beautiful photograph. KVIE Public Television brings you stories about the land and the environment and the community that we all share, and San Francisco is part of that. It's right in our backyard. 1-800-270-6601. Call now, ring the bells, make this a bell ringer. We're looking for a bid of $325 for From Pier 3 by Cindy Shelton. It is item 37B, and it is just outstanding and electric.
It is. Again, it's golden. I just keep saying, I just see bars of gold when you look at these buildings. When you see this Pier 3 where it's been shot from, the railing is almost like this tarnished gold. The frame is gold. The buildings are illuminated with the lighting of the night. Incredible.
We're moving on to item 37C. It is Dunes near San Luis Obispo. It is by artist Gretchen Ryan. It is acrylic on board, measuring 24 by 31. It has a retail value of $800. And Will, when I saw this piece, I have a confession to make. I've never been to San Luis Obispo, but if it is any indication of this is what it looks like, woe is me for not seeing it, and woe is you for not calling in and bidding. 1-800-270-6601. What's going on here, Will?
Well, obviously, it is a wonderful nature scene, and if you've not been there, it's time to go, because this is a part of the California coast, looking in at the dunes and then the mountains in behind, the trees, the combination of colors here with the purples and the mauves, bright greens, the balance of colors, the depth, incredible depth and perception throughout this landscape piece. Again, a very, very strong piece and a masterful piece.
It's beautiful. If you've never been to San Luis Obispo like me, shame on me, or if you have and you want to re-experience it day in and day out, this is your opportunity. We're looking for a starting bid of $240. That's nothing compared to being able to capture a beautiful California geographic landmark that is San Luis Obispo in a gorgeous painting.
This artist is not new to the game. She has been producing art for 50 years. We're talking a half of a century. So this is accomplished, masterfully done piece of art that anyone should be extremely proud of in their collection. You've got the huge cloud banks off the coast, you've got the blue-purple of the mountains, and you've got the dunes.
We've got the dunes. We are going to go from the dunes over to the phone bank and see what's happening. What's going on over there?
Okay, what's going on is I'm waiting for the people at home to call on this beautiful piece from Pier number 3. 37B. This is by Cindy Sheldon. She is a bell ringer every time I want to make this piece a bell ringer. Right now I only have a high bid of $300. I need a bid of $750. It's got a beautiful gold leaf frame on it. I love the way this turned out. Cindy is a a longtime volunteer here, and she wants us to get that $750. Remember, these are gallery quality pieces that we have here. You're shopping from the comfort of your own home. You could be paying a fortune for this in San Francisco, but all you got to do is give us $750. It goes to KVIE, and you get a really great piece. I have phone lines available right now. If there's a piece coming up that you need, they're getting busy. I need you to call 1-800-270-6601. Let's put my volunteers to work, and let's go back out and find some more about that from Will.
Okay, well, go spell your phone number, so let me check.
Back to the dunes.
Back to the dunes.
Okay, again, lots of gold, California gold, if you will, in this piece as well, especially into the dune part. And, well, you know, this is California's nature at its best. It's serene. You would never tire looking at this piece.
Never tire looking at it. And what we will never tire hearing are the phones ringing. We've got a new bidder at $375. We're looking for a bid of $400, and you can make that happen. You have the opportunity to have this painting, Dunes near San Luis Obispo, in your home or in your office, or even as a gift for somebody. 1-800-270-6601. That's the most important number of the night. And we just have a bid that jumped to $450. We're looking for a bid of $500. That's nothing compared to owning a piece of art that captures the feeling of California. KVIE Public Television captures the feeling and the stories and people of California and our region on programs like Rob on the Road, Studio Sacramento, and Viewfinder. 1-800-270-6601. We're looking for a bid of $500. Will, this is a steal.
It is, and I'm not just here to tell you a story of it as I see it. This artist has been recognized with many awards from the Air Force to the California State Fair, and even competed and received European award competitions. Wow. So, again, accomplished, masterful artist. Let's see those prices going.
Let's hear the phones ring. We have a bid of $450. We're looking for a bid of $500. 1-800-270-6601. You can make that happen. You have the opportunity to take part in this unique experience that is the largest art auction in Northern California. We're going over to the phone bank, and what is happening over there, Dee?
Okay, here we are in the phone bank with Warren G. Bender. We love these people. If you would like to talk to any of these people and place a bid, all you got to do is call 1-800-270-6601. Make sure to get online, kvie.org, look up art, and then what do?
Bid. Call us and bid. We're waiting for these phones to ring, so pick up that phone and call us.
Okay, and the way you do that, go to kvie.org, look at all the artwork that's going to be on. We've got some exciting pieces coming up tonight and later on this evening. We are on until 10, so there's a lot to bid on. Figure out what you want to bid on and then call
1-800-270-6601. Now, back to you guys.
Thank you, Dee and Jessica. We are on item 37D, Big Sur Coast. It is by Daryl O'Sullivan. It is a photograph measuring 17 by 24 with a retail value of $340, but we're looking for a bid of $300. We have one for $250. We're looking one for $300. Call 1-800-270-6601. Will, this photograph looks like a painting.
I can't agree anymore. You know, right on. When I first saw this, I'm going photograph, and then really when you're across the room away from the easel, this looks like one of the probably most precise watercolors. So there's this, the precision in the photograph, even with each and every wave out here, you can see the lining, which, but it's exquisite. I mean, it really does look painterly rather than photographic. I mean, it has this mutedness. Maybe it was taken early morning on the coast at Big Sur, looking north from High Point and along the coast. And what place on earth is more beautiful than Big Sur?
Right. We live in a beautiful part of the country, in a beautiful part of the world, Northern California, and KVIE is your public television station here. And nowhere else can you experience the unique art auction experience that is California here in Sacramento. We have a bid of $250. We want to get that up to $300. Let's get it going. Ring the phones. It's Sunday. You don't have a lot of time. There's very little time left to get these pieces. There's only a few hours. Celebrate the arts, celebrate our community and the artists who have donated their time and their talent. You're a part of that. You have the experience. Now we're going to have the experience of going over to the phone bank, and I hear a good noise. Dee?
Okay, here we are. We've got a bell ringer, and I'm going to have Larry, our longtime volunteer, tell us what a bell ringer is.
A bell ringer is an item that, like 37F, where it was $250 was the retail. The high bid is now at $275, which means there's still an opportunity to do more bidding on 37F. We also have open 37C, 37D, and 37E. These are all great pieces. They look fantastic standing here in the studio. And we have the folks from, where are you folks from?
Bender and Bender. Warren G. Bender. And you know what? We're so close to a bell ringer on 37C. It's $450. Bring it up to $800. Let's just bring it up to $800. We'd like to thank Nilo for being our sponsor tonight. And I'm going to go back to Will so we can hear just a little bit more about those beautiful dunes.
Well, let's see. We're back to Big Sur, and I think I talked about this being from High Point. This is actually from Hurricane Point on Big Sur. But again, so it's often hard to get away from home and go on that outing to Big Sur. If this is on the wall in your living room, your study, or whatever, all you have to do, take a look over there, and within 5 minutes, you're in a meditative state, gone to that spot forever. And you can go there as often as you want to without ever leaving the chair of your home, just by looking at this picture.
That's true, and KVIE is all about experience, unique experience, bringing you stories and people and beautiful art. 1-800-270-6601. We thank all of the artists and all of the framers for donating their time and their resources. We are looking for a bid of $300. Get the phones ringing, 1-800-270-6601. You have the opportunity to make this a bell ringer. I love the coast. Anytime I see a picture of the coast, I'm transported. I can't always get away to the coast, much like all of us. And Will, this takes us there.
It's very detail-oriented. You don't miss anything. Of course, what you first see are these huge mountains coming out of the sea. But here's the high bridge right here. Here's waves crashing down off the rocks. Here's the Hurricane Point. Beautiful clouds, the waves crashing against the rock. I mean, the colors, it's all, you've not lost any detail. Very detail-oriented.
It's gorgeous. I can hear the waves, but what I can't hear are the bells ringing, the phones ringing. We need bells, we need phones. We are moving on to item 37E. It is Sand Toy by Victoria Brooks. It is an oil on canvas measuring 18 by 24 with a retail value of $1,850. And we're looking for an opening bid of $550. Well, this painting reminds me a lot of my siblings. When we would either make mud pies or sand castles. It captures this very special private moment, and it's just gorgeous.
It is gorgeous, very well executed, masterfully done. It's a day on the beach with the kids playing, and you know, it's captured that moment in time. Beautiful use of colors. It's very expressionistic. You see the excitement on the kid's face, the balance of the tension here, and he's got his mouth open. Often when we're doing very skillful things, we open our mouths. So this is, you know, is it going to stand or not is the question. And Sis is helping to assist. This reminds me a lot of Mary Cassatt, very famous female American impressionistic art, but this is much more expressionistic to me and more contemporary in design. The use of the colors are very vibrant, very bold. They are very contemporary, but it works. It balances well, and you see the movement of the water, the surf coming in around them, and the sand. It would be great for any family to have in their collection.
It works and it's got movement, but we need movement of the phones to ring. 1-800-270-6601. We're looking for an opening bid of $550. I just heard the phone ring, so we're going to go over to the phone bank and see what's happening. Dee?
I'm here in the phone bank with my friend Jill, and I've got the beautiful Big Sur Coast. It's at $250. The retail's $340. Let's just make it a bell ringer. Just call us right now. bump it up there a little bit. What a beautiful piece for your vacation home. I'm loving all this California gold. If you're a fan of Huell-Hauser, and I know a bunch of you are, we named that after Huell-Hauser. We need to be able to keep presenting quality programs like that. And the way we do it is by having you call 1-800-270-6601. Give my Warren G. Bender people here something to do. Call us right now so we can get a bid in. Let's get a bid in on Sand Toy. It's got an $1,850 value. I need an opening bid of $550. Let's take another look at it. Will?
So maybe again to learn a little bit more about the artist that should warrant this kind of retail price. Victoria Brooks had a successful career with many national awards as an art director in television and in motion pictures. And then she pursued her love of painting, which she's been doing for over 20 years. And in addition to being the talented studio artist, she's also very accomplished in plein air. Now, plein air means taking your easel and your paints, going outdoors on site and painting the painting. And I would suspect that this, in fact, may have been painted plein air. And so you get incredibly unique lighting at that point in time. She's been honored. She's a signature member of National Oil and Acrylic Painters Society and the American Impressionistic Society. So again, they see the quality and comparison of her and Mary Cassatt, I think, as well. So this is a very strong, masterfully done painting by an incredibly skilled artist.
Thank you, Will. We have a bid of $550. We're looking for a bid of $600. She has such a pedigree. She's extremely talented. She's well known, and so is KVIE Public Television, and so are you when you call in at 1-800-270-6601. We're looking for a bid of $600, item 37E, Sand Toy. This reminds me of my siblings and when we were younger. This might evoke a memory of your children or something that you want them to grow up with, looking and enjoying. Item 37E, Sand Toy. We need to make those phones ring. Come on, ring, ring, ring. 300. We're looking for a bid of $600 for Sand Toy, Will.
So let me just go back to Expressionism. So she has actually captured in this painting, without any doubt, if you look at the faces on these kids, the joy and happiness that these brother and sister or cousins, whoever they are in their relationship, are having at this day on the beach.
Yes.
And this is a timeless capturing of that degree of emotion in one's life. And we should all be able to remember those moments in our lives.
Absolutely, pure joy. And this is the perfect piece to have your children grow up with and to introduce them. We have some activity going on in the phone bank. We've got a bell ringer on Big Sur Coast. That is really exciting. And what's going to be even more exciting is when you make this a bell ringer. This is Sand Toy. We're looking for a bid of $600. $600 to capture a special emotional memory, a private moment that we've all shared or we've seen our children share. 1-800-270-6601. Will, this is just, it's precious.
I don't understand why the phones aren't just ring, 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 ring to where we can't even hear ourselves. California gold at its best. Again, if you want to go back, there is so much gold color into this piece as well.
We're going to keep item 37E on, but we're going to move on to the next piece, and that is item 37F, the San Jacintos by Paul Seifert. It is oil on canvas measuring 18 by 24, and it has a retail value of $250, but we've got an opening bid of $275, so we're looking for a bid of $300. And Will, this is another painting that's capturing beautiful landscape, and it takes us away.
Not only beautiful landscape, but also a beautiful sunrise coming up through this cluster of grouping of palm trees in the San Jacinto Mountains outside of Palm Springs. In the foreground, you have the desert sage grasses, you have golden barrel cactus, you have other forms of cacti, and you've got wash areas, just open desert. The desert can be an incredibly beautiful, calming place as well because it's basically silent unless you're making a lot of noise to yourself. So this is a very serene painting early morning lighting is so important. Sunrise is just coming up over the mountains and illuminating the floor of the desert.
Will said it's a serene painting and it gives you a feeling of serenity, but we don't want serenity when it comes to the phones. We want to hear a lot of noise. 1-800-270-6601. We're looking for a bid of $300. Serenity, $300. San Jacinto's, it's gorgeous. KVIE Public Television brings you unique experiences, and this is one of them. You get to participate and bid on unique art that's one of a kind, either starting a collection or adding to your collection, and letting your family enjoy and appreciate art all the time.
So again, I think the artist successfully accomplished what he was trying to do, and that was to get the early morning light in a favorite place of his in the desert outside of Palm Springs. Now, this artist also often is painting outside in nature, on site, meaning plein air, and he's actually further learning to develop those skills under a master, same Chilean, who is an expert and known for his painting scenes over California. Wow. So it works. This is, again, a masterpiece.
It's a masterpiece. We're going to go see another masterpiece over in the phone bank with Dee. Dee, what's happening with that masterpiece?
I have number 37E Sand Toy. We've only got a bid of $550. It's got a retail value of $18.50. Remember, these are professional artists. This is a piece you would buy in a gallery, and you would never buy it in a gallery for $550. So let's get that price up there to $18.50. I've got a brand new phone bank here. You guys ready to go?
Yes, absolutely.
I've got a brand new phone bank. They are ready to answer the phone. So let's go back to Will and give us a call.
Well, this is a beautiful piece, and it seems to be a lot of texture. Is there anything you can tell us about texture and landscape and something
well,
like this?
there's very bold brush strokes in here. I think there may be some use of palette knife. Yes, here's some palette knife thing to give you the three-dimensional nature of the cacti and the curvature, the rounding of these golden barrel cactus. So you've got sprinkling the palette with, meaning the paint is actually raising up off the canvas to add to dimensionality. Up through the mountain scene here as well, you get palette knife use. So it's not just all bold brush strokes. You've got some lifting of the paint off the canvas.
Nice. And now coming up next, we have more original art for you to bid on and buy at the KVIE Art Auction.
Think freedom. Think no limits. Think first car. Think next car. Think wow factor. Think custom. Think unlimited possibilities. 11 brands, thousands of choices, one name, Nilo. The Nilo Company is a proud sponsor of KVIE.
Stay tuned for the Contemporary Classics category coming up next on the KVIE Art Auction. Juried by Kim Squalia, this category features abstract and non-objective works in all media. View all of the categories featured in this year's auction at kvie.org/art auction. Bid high and bid often.
We have more original art for you to bid on and buy in this half hour. Let's take a quick look at all of the art up for bid in the next half hour. Item 38A, Nihon no King, Gold of Japan, by Barbara Lee Hugo. It is mixed media, measuring 12 by 24, with a retail value of $450. Item 38B, PBS, by Paul Basie. It is acrylic on board, measuring 16 by 20, with a retail value of $180. Item 38C, Something Bad Always Happens, by Eric Taylor. It is acrylic on canvas, measuring 40 by 30, with a retail value of $600. Item 38D, Springtime, by Mary Kroger. It is a watercolor, measuring 22 by 30, with a retail value of $500. Item 38E, Media Addiction. It is by Michael Smith, and it is acrylic on canvas, measuring 36 by 48, with a retail value of $1,500. And last but not least, item 38F, steam-powered clock and time compressor by Mark Johnson. It is mixed media, measuring 24 by 13 by 18, and it has a retail value of $2,600. Here to tell us more is our art expert extraordinaire, Will Green. Will, tell us more about 38A.
Oh, thank you, Kelly. Well, this is a really strong piece, mixed media, meaning use of different materials, paper, paint, threads, even, well, punch outs, overlay of color. So it's a collage in a way, but very strong influence with the Asian statement, with a hint of the Asian characters coming through in this part. And I love this kind of a mesh perforation. So it almost looks like you have metal mesh in the piece that's adding further depth and what's hidden behind the metal screens. The red against the bold black, it almost reminds me also, in fact, of koi fish swimming into a darkened pond.
Wow. There are no bids on this item, and I can't believe that. Item 38A, we are asking for a starting bid of $135. It's got a lot of energy, so if you've got a room that you want to just kind of wake up and you want to be awake when you see it, you can call 1-800-270-6601 to make that happen. Nihon no King Gold of Japan, we're looking for a bid of $135, Will. It's beautiful.
And not only does the painting have energy, Barbara Lee Hugo must have lots of energy too, because she's been a professional artist for 45 years.
Wow.
She has a master's of art education and art therapy from Sac State University. And so she's not been schlepping on the sideline. She's been working very hard at this, and obviously continues to really enjoy producing and expressing strong, bold art.
Nice. We have a strong, bold new phone bank, and so we're going to go over and see what's happening. Jessica and Tessa.
Hi, I'm here in the phone bank. We've got a whole new, fresh set of volunteers from Micron. Thank you so much for coming in. We also have some new friends of KVIE joining us, so we really appreciate it. So they are eager to take your phone calls. So pick up the phone and make these phones ring because they want to talk to you. Thank you so much. And go ahead, Kelly, take it away.
We need to put them to work. We need the phones to ring. 1-800-270-6601. They didn't come just to sit here and look pretty, even though they are pretty. They want to answer your phone calls. We're looking for a bid of $135 for this energetic piece by Barbara Lee Hugo. It is mixed media. And Will, what else can you tell
I'm
us?
just going to say, you know, it's time to pay Barbara Lee back for all that she's done for Sacramento and the art community. She actually did have an exhibit at the Crocker Art Museum for a month titled Me, Myself, and I. So, you know, regional recognition here. She created the art therapy program at the Stanford Home for Children. And she currently shows her artwork at the Temp Gallery, at the Sacramento Temporary Gallery on Del Paso Boulevard, I believe it is. So, again, a strong artist around producing for 45 years. What more can I say? The piece really speaks for itself. This is about design, this is about texture, this is about balance of colors, and it's also a cultural statement of that Asian feel.
I know what else we could say about it. It would make a great gift for a loved one. It's just beautiful, energetic, colorful. It's very tactile. We're looking for a bid of $135. I know you're out there. I know you have a phone near you. It is Nihon no King Gold of Japan 38A. We're looking for a bid of $135. You can make that happen. You have the opportunity. We thank all of our artists for donating their talent and their time and their pieces. This art auction's not possible without them or you, and you need to call 1-800-270-6601. We're looking for a bid of $135. Phone now. We're moving on to the next piece. It is item 37B. I'm sorry, 38B, and I like this title, Will. It is called PBS. It is by Paul Basie. It is acrylic on board, measuring 16 by 20. It has a retail value of $180. PBS, Will, What can you tell us about the painting called PBS?
Well, I must say, for me, it's a favorite one of my pieces in the auction this year just because of this balance of very bold primary colors. It's very simply represented in graphic line representation. It has a very mid-century feel, which would fit into many of these beautiful Eichler or mid-century homes that we're seeing a revival of in the Sacramento area. This should go over the tops.
It should go over the top. We have an opening bid of $45. We're looking for a bid of let's go for a bid of $75. This is very meta right now. You're watching PBS and you can buy a painting called PBS. You're watching because you appreciate public television and all of the things that it does for you 24/7, every day of the year. Public television brings you stories about our community and the people that we love, and this is a perfect way to celebrate that with an opening bid of $75, 38B. It's just, I love the lines in it, Will.
Really like the lines. I always like when I see paintings that have these bold red accents to further highlight them. And again, the use of a red, Chinese red with a turquoise is very much mid-century kind of a statement of use of color.
Right. We are going to go over to the phone bank and they are going to tell us something really fun.
And we are back in the phone bank. I'm standing here with the lovely JP. He's my art handler for today, and he is showing us this Nihon No King, Gold of Japan. We are looking for, or we have a bid of $150 on this beautiful piece, really a conversation starter. And so we're looking for a bid of $175. So don't miss out. These pieces are going fast. Micron's starting to get some phone calls, but we still have volunteers that are ready for your phone calls. So give us a call right now, and you can get in on the action. It's starting to get pretty exciting. And this is Sunday night, so it's your last chance. Back to you, Kelly.
Thank you, Tessa. We don't have a lot of time, like Tessa said. This is the last night. These pieces are going quickly. There is a sense of urgency. These are high stakes. And this is your opportunity to get PBS, to own PBS in your living room or your office, or give it as a gift. We're looking for a bid of $150. We have a bid of $100. Let's go for $150. Again, PBS, public television. You're watching because you love it. You appreciate the mission. You appreciate the stories that we bring you. Ring the phones to show that appreciation.
You know, something else that's very wonderful about what the artist did, he left this screen blank.
Right?
So we can watch whatever show we think we need to be watching.
Right? I like that.
So there's not any setup here. There's no hidden agenda. This is a blank TV. It says PBS, who is a great station, as well as we know.
Yes.
But you get to tune into the channel that you want to watch whenever you've got it on your wall at home.
And art does that. It lets you create the story for it, your story. We give you stories here on PBS, but you can create the story by calling in at 1-800-270-6601 and giving us a bid. Wow, it's up to $180. Let's go for a bid of $200. $200 to have a bit of PBS in your home outside of the usual screen that you watch it on. It's on your wall, it's in your living room, it's in your bedroom, it's everywhere. We're looking for a bid of $250 now. PBS. We're going to move on to the next piece, item 38C, Something Bad Always Happens by Eric Taylor. It is acrylic on canvas measuring 40 by 30 with the retail value of $600. And this is a large emotional piece, Will, right?
Yes, it's quite large. It's probably about 3 feet tall, and I would say about 2 feet across. This is really not as dark as one might think it is. When there is definitely isolation, purposefully so. The artist is playing upon feelings here in this piece of disconnectedness, loneliness, and how we are vulnerable as humans to that. So he's actually inviting us to enter in wherever. If we want to come into the painting here, or if we want to take this street in, we're going to find nothingness, emptiness. But where do people go? Where are the villagers? What's happened to this city? Or is it all happening around the next corner? Or might we want to enter into this mysterious door and see everyone's having a party here?
Right.
Or maybe nothing.
or nothing. And what's interesting is there almost every window or doorway has an entrance into another room. And your entrance into this art auction is by calling 1-800-270-6601. We're looking for an opening bid of $180 for something bad always happened. That's past tense. Let's make something good happen right now. 1-800-270-6601, Will.
So besides the feeling of isolation or emptiness, let's look a little bit closer up here. One thing we can see, there's wind to be moving this curtain. So, you know, you kind of, as you study this, well, there's life going on, even maybe devoid of people. Nature goes on, time goes on. So again, maybe it's not as bad as it once was thought to be, or tomorrow will be better.
I actually think there's a little bit of hope in this piece because some of
Where?
the doors are open. So the windows are open. If there was no open windows, I mean, there's maybe closing of hope. But
Right.
we want to open the hope for you to
I
own
don't
this
see it
piece.
as hopeless. Like I said, it's really not that dark. There's a lot of attention to detail. Again, up here, the rusting tin roof, which is very common. This has a feel of kind of a European village, a street scene of very small, narrow streets, tall buildings that would be creating shadows anyway, with plastered walls that are, you know, not very highly decorated. But you're invited to enter in, and this kind of becomes a mystery. Where do I want to be in this game of emptiness and desolation?
Right? I know where we want to be right now, Will, and that's over in the phone bank.
Okay.
Heath, what's going on?
Well, hey, Kelly, I've come out of the production control room and back onto the floor so that we can talk about Nihon no King Gold of Japan. This item has a high bid right now of $150. We're looking for you to come in with a bid of $175 and make this an auction, folks. What a beautiful piece. Someone was mentioning earlier, again, if you are in a business, in your corporation, if you own a restaurant, add art every single place where you are during the day so that you can be inspired and enriched. Just like when you watch public television and you feel inspiration and we take you on adventures and exploration, you can do the same thing with a piece of art. 1-800-270-6601. That is the number to call. When you call in, tell the volunteer you want to bid on item 38A and they will be happy to take your bid. And now let's head back over to Kelly and Will.
Thank you, Heath. We're on item 38D now, Springtime by Mary Kroger. It is watercolor measuring 22 by 30 with a retail value of $500. We're looking for a bid of $200 right now. Well, I'm a novice, and I say novice very, very importantly, watercolorist. This is so gorgeous, and it just kind of makes me want to be a better painter.
Well, it's an incredible accomplishment for watercolors, and just again, this is explosive. The whole piece, I mean, and that's what happens in springtime. Everything explodes. Buds bloom open, and this is about birds nesting. And you know, I began my auction last night with the empty nest piece, and I'm getting toward the end of this one with a full nest. But if you, there is so much dimensionality and interfusion and interwovenness of lines and colors. It almost looks like a bronze sculpture to me, as much as it does, you know, a watercolor painting. You know, from across the room, you kind of look at that and you go, wow, what an incredible sculpted piece.
Exactly, and for this piece, we're looking for a bid of $250. We need a bid of $250, and that can only happen when you call 1-800-270-6601. This is Springtime item 38D. We're looking for a bid of $300. It is a gorgeous watercolor. Watercolor is one of the most difficult and demanding mediums there is, right, Will?
It is, and also creating feeling in any painting, I think, is an incredible talent. And here, the artist, I think, is capturing the feeling of what it must feel like, the excitement of building a family.
Yes, and you can kind of see it. It is a bird's nest. There are some birds, I believe, at the top of that nest, and it's got a lot of energy. There's birth, there's hope. It's springtime. We're looking for a bid of $350. item 38D, 1-800-270-6601. You have the unique opportunity of making the phone ring, just like I heard. You can keep doing that. We're looking for a bid of $350, Will, at 1-800-270-6601. Look at the color on that.
I had just had a great thought, you know, so if you don't want this piece for your own collection, what about giving this as a gift for a wedding?
Brilliant.
You know, a couple just starting a new home.
Brilliant.
With the hopes that they're going to have their own peeps or chicks someday in the near future. And until then, they're not going to be bored by looking at this painting.
I love it. You can build your nest by having this art that is a nest. Springtime, we're looking for a bid of $400. Item 38D, 1-800-270-6601. This is the largest art auction in Northern California, and you have the opportunity for this unique experience. Again, 1-800-270-6601. Make the phones ring. We're going to move on to the next piece. I love this title. It is item 38E, and the title is Media Addiction by Michael Smith. It is acrylic on canvas measuring 36 by 48. It has a retail value of $1,500. Well, we're looking for an opening bid of $450. This piece is really exciting. I work in media. I'm addicted to media myself. I'm addicted to this painting.
Well, I'm not addicted to media, but I love the painting. I actually had the opportunity to meeting the artist and speaking with Michael Smith at the Gala preview. And I actually saw some things or into it more than he did, and I'll just share, and he didn't, you know, he liked what I saw. So not only is this a media tower, but it's also a personification, as if this is the Queen Mother with her crown, okay? And this is her head with kind of this eye looking down on us. And then, yes, these are the bosoms that we're feeding off of as these addicted little pack people down here. If you remember the game, the Pac-Man, that was the rage of all times. Well, now media. And, you know, you think about it, you almost get run over by someone that's texting or checking their email or something because they're not watching where they even walk anymore. We're constantly needing to be fed.
And we need you to call in at 1-800-270-6601. We need a bid of $500, media addiction. I said I was addicted to this painting. I love it. I love the little Pac-Man people who are tethered by chains, but there's hope. They're floating up. They're going to get what they want to get, and you can get what you want to get by calling in at 1-800-270-6601. There's not a lot of time left. There's only a few hours, but for this piece, there's just a few minutes. We're going to go over the keys in the phone bank for something exciting.
You know, this piece right here that I'm next to is called Something Bad Always Happened, but something good is happening here at KVIE because the phone bank from Micron is ready to take your calls. They're here doing their part. They want those phones to ring. This item has a current high bid of $500 on it. That's only $100 away from a bell ringer, folks. Now's the time to make it happen. Pick up the phone, call 1-800-270-6601, and let's make this an auction. Springtime also, high bid right now at $500. And let's head back over to Kelly to learn more about media addiction.
Thank you, Heath. Media addiction, item 38E. We're looking for a bid of $500. You can do that. This is your opportunity. It's not going to last very long. This is an auction, but it's only a great auction when you call in at 1-800-270-6601. I love the colors. I love the subject matter. I love that it's called media addiction. Will? It's
a great balance of colors. Again, her gown here is regal red with her cape in the back coming down. This artist has been creating art professionally for the past 9 years. He's won awards 2007 and 2012 at the California State Awards of Excellence and Merit Awards, California State Magnum Opus Awards in 2007 and 2008. And, you know, Mike, this is a strong, bold statement. This is a form of surrealistic representation. But this is reality statement that's being generated here.
It really is. And Will has told us that the artist is an award winner. Well, you can be a winner of this piece of art. You know the score, 1-800-270-6601. We're looking for a bid of $500. $500 for media addiction. For this, it could make a great gift for somebody who loves games, who works in media, loves media. We're all addicted to media. Well, most of us. And I kind of think it's a healthy addiction because I do work in television. But media addiction, 38E. We're looking for a bid of $500. It's kind of quiet in the phone bank. Make the phones ring, 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 ring. 1-800-270-6601. There's not a lot of time left. This piece is going to go shortly. We need a bid of $500, Will.
And it should get it. I think the bid that we have only covers about 1/3 of this painting.
Right, that's right. We're not going to send you 1/3 of the painting. We want to send you the whole painting.
Yes, you want the whole enchilada here. It's wonderful, it's bold, it's strong, it's representational, it's making a strong statement about our society at this point in time. And that's a part of what art and art history is about. It makes social statements about where we were at a point in time.
And here's a statement. We're looking for a bid of $550 now. We are going to move on to the next piece, and this might be one of my favorite pieces ever. 38F. It is steam-powered clock and time compressor by Mark Johnson. It is mixed media, measuring 24 by 13 by 18. It has a retail value of $2,600, and all I can say is that it's a time compressor. This is an opportunity for you to be able to compress time. You could be your own time lord. 1-800-270-6601, 38F, steam-powered clock and time compressor. We're looking for an opening bid of $750. Will, this is a great fun piece. What can you tell us?
Wow, well, I'm very familiar with this piece. This piece is by Mark Johnson, and this is an assemblage piece. Again, you need to know this is kind of like steampunk in a way.
Yes.
And so on the floor here, I was just adjusting it. We have a air compressor pump that's going to drive this. Now I'm going to put all aboard. Here we go. We're going to drive. Is this on? The air?
I think it wants to drive. I did see it moving at the preview gala, and it's a wonderful piece of art.
Okay, this is supposed to drive if we've got air coming through, maybe. Okay, well, maybe we want to get it to drive, but let me...
But it will drive.
If the valves are on?
Yeah, we're looking for an opening bid of $750.
Yeah.
This is a chance. What a great conversation starter. We're going to go over to the phone break for another conversation. What's happening over there?
This fell off, but I don't
Tessa.
know if the air's not getting in.
Dee's changing clothes.
This time machine is so cool. I cannot wait for you all to see it. So thank you for joining us here on the last night of our auction. We are super excited to have you. I know this is my favorite event of the year, and I hope that you've been enjoying it. We've got some wonderful volunteers here, and they are here to take your phone calls, so thank you so much for being here. We are still looking for bids on 38E Media Addiction, which is just such a cool piece. I mean, it's big, it's beautiful, it's colorful. We currently have a high bid of $650, so call now with your bid of $700. And then, of course, 38F is still available. So let's go back to Will and Kelly, and they'll tell us more about the time machine.
Thank you, Tessa. Item 38F, steam-powered clock and time compressor.
Right,
I think this is a great conversation piece because say somebody comes in and you own it and they're like, wow, where did you get that? And you tell them where and you say, it's a time compressor.
Well,
I can compress time.
This is one of a kind. This is basically a air compression machine that's driving a whole mechanism of gears and pulleys that are driving a clock up here on top. But if you can see over here to the side, here's a little figurative guy shoveling in coal into an old steam burning machine to drive this. So this is again a psychosocial statement by Mark. So if you will, kind of 98% of this piece sits at a level that is really dirty, grimy, requires a lot of work. And yet the 2%, or the upper crust, if you will, that's what it takes to drive this 2% of very beautiful, this anniversary clock on top. Now we can actually adjust the volume on this and even play around with it to where time will almost stop. So you get a sense that who controls time? Can we control time? And this has been a question throughout history, where in the French Revolution, they did away with the 12-hour day and went to a 10-hour day. Hence, we have the metric system out of that. And after 4 years, they decided, no, you know, time has to do with the Earth in relation to the sun. We are always about learning. This is a very detailed and unique piece of machinery and gears. There's, Mark has magnifying glasses if you want to get a closer scientific look at what a gear looks like when it's actually operating and going, or we can speed this up into higher speed and time will fly.
And Will, we have this piece is up for bid. We're looking for an opening bid of $750. This is your chance to control time, but you don't have a lot of time left. Just a few minutes to get this piece. It's great for somebody who's an engineer, who loves timepieces, maybe for a child who wants to learn about art and about how things work. And I think somebody's coming over here to join us.
Oh, the whistle.
Nope.
Yep.
You can't. You gotta. If I had the mic, you have to lean over there. So
Okay, here we go.
Item 38F, steam-powered clock and time compressor. We're looking for a bid of $550. You can be a Time Lord and an art owner all at the same time while supporting KVIE Public Television. Ring the phones. We're looking for a bid of $550, 1-800-270-6601, Will.
So again, guess what, Kelly? This did not come as a kit that you could buy at Kmart or your local craft shop. This is all created in the mind of one brilliant man that engineered all of this to make all of these gears interact and to take time forward, to take it backward, to make it stop, all at your control or your imagined control.
Wow, you have the control to call now, 1-800-270-6601. Thank you to you and our high bidders and to all of our bidders for the KVIE Art Auction. Stay with us because we have more original art to bid on and buy coming up next.